The city of La Quinta is trying to clear up confusion about a series of articles, postcards, and surveys being circulated through social media and mailed to residents about the proposed surf park development. None of these items are from the city or have been paid for with city funds. I spoke in depth with city manager John McMillan, who says he is disappointed with how all this happened. John, first off, explain to us what these mailers and surveys are about and why it was important for the city to speak out.
You know, we started hearing from some of our residents. Obviously, I live in the city of La Quinta and received them in my own mailboxes. Started getting a text message regarding a survey that would be, that I could take. I actually started the process of taking the survey just to see what it was all about. We've had residents that have been reaching out not only to the city, but to council members individually, wondering what the city's involvement is with these and wondering if the city was involved with these. And absolutely, the city has no involvement with any of these mailers, nor the survey or the article that was recently in this month's episode of the Gem. So just wanted to get that word out to the community that although they're receiving these items, these are coming from unrelated third-party vendors, and the city has no input towards what is put out there, either if it's a developer that might be putting it out on their behalf, if it's another third party that's putting that information out.
So who's behind all this?
That's a very good question. We suspect that it is probably the developer behind, and actually we know it is the developer behind the postcards that are being mailed out. I think at this point there's been either 2 or 3 that have been sent out, and we've heard that there could be as many as 6 that will be going out.
And you're referring to the developer for the controversial surf park?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Is it unusual, John, for a developer to take this type of action to try to generate public interest?
We have not seen it, especially not at this time in the process. If this were, I think we might see this in some projects if they're a larger project earlier on in the project, but this late in the project, so when it's coming back before council to be hitting the community with kind of these informational updates, I have not seen that before.
Is this type of thing illegal at all, or could the developer face any type of disciplinary action for all this confusion?
That, certainly that's a good question. And we did have conversations with the city attorney, regarding this matter. It's absolutely within their right. This is a very protected First Amendment right they have to communicate to the public. And really our hands are tied on, any disciplinary action. There's really nothing that they've violated here. I think one of the things that we look at is certainly when we saw this last episode of the Gem was from the city's perspective, we wanted to get that word out right away, because to me, that looked like an advertisement to me and not truly something coming from the Gem.
And for folks who aren't familiar, the Gem is the magazine that goes out in La Quinta that is not put on by the city. That's through the Chamber of Commerce, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So even if no laws were broken here, are you disappointed with the developer doing this? And what is going to happen? Are you going to bring it up to them, I guess, the next time they meet with the city to discuss the proposed project?
We'll always bring up what's going on from our perspective. At the end of the day, the project will be looked at based on the merits of the project and not this kind of activity that goes on behind the scenes for them to try to drum up support. So, certainly we'll mention it to them. I'll be talking with them. At the end of the day, am I disappointed with them? I'm disappointed with the way this rolled out. I think the timing of it was not appropriate, and it probably wasn't in the best interest of anybody. I think the concern that I have great is the fact that it's unclear where these messages are coming from. And I think it's important for the community to know that these messages are not coming from the city of La Quinta. And if these messages are going to be put out there, I just like that people responsible for putting this information out to take ownership of that information.
All right, we appreciate your time. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The Coral Mountain Resort sent us a statement which reads in part, "The postcards do not look like notices from the city, nor do they imply any official endorsement. Complaints that these materials were designed to look like official communications are solely motivated by project critics trying to prevent residents from making an informed and educated decision about the benefits of Coral Mountain Resort." To see the full statement and my interview with the La Quinta City Manager, head to our website, kesq.com.